Hi guys, I'm Tanisha.
And I'm Tina.
And we are how do we do this? And this is Side Eye Chronicles.
And you're watching Side Eye Chronicles?
Sure.
Okay, let's try it again.
It's been a while. Okay. I'm Tanisha.
And I'm Tina.
And this is Side Eye Chronicles.
No, you
and you're watching. The boomers are gonna be great this time.
Oh Lord. Do you remember? I don't know. But I'll rock.
It was everything. Do you remember? Ooh. It was so long ago. So much has changed. I wanna go back.
Wait, I don't know what we're doing.
I'm Tanisha.
And I'm Tina. No, say hi guys first.
Oh, okay. Wait.
Okay. Or hello everyone.
Okay. And then you're watching Side Eye Chronicles? Okay. Times is hard and things are changing, but I pray to God that we can remain the same. All I'm trying to say is our love don't have to change. No, it don't have to change. Hi guys, this is Tanisha.
And I'm Tina.
And you guys are watching
Side Eye Chronicles.
We didn't forget how to do the side
We
We're finally recording.
Yeah, me too.
Life has happened.
Yeah.
It's still 70 degrees outside though. It is somehow I think it's at 75, 77 on my dashboard when I drove over here.
Oh, I've been in my house all
I
day.
know you
so
have. Yeah. I was a little late coming over, so she got a good nap.
I did.
But that makeup still looks bomb. Speaking of makeup, what is this? What is all of this? What is happening? You serving face? We serving face.
Look at us.
Yeah. Oh, Tina, what's that lipstick you're wearing?
Oh, this stuff, girl.
Oh, that stuff.
This is just chocolate spritzer from Lip Balm. Actually, it's not chocolate spritzer.
It's not the name of the company. Such a great segue. You ruined it. So we stumbled upon a thing while we've been away and apart and not recording. Why are you not breathing?
We were at Bella Kinks, right?
Yes,
we
went to the Bella
in Dallas, and we saw this vendor there.
Oh my gosh, y'all! Now y'all know how Tina talked about me for not really wearing makeup.
But now look at her. Look how she's grown.
I mean, look at. Growth.
Look at growth.
Shout out to growth. Shout out to Kelly. No, for real. I gravitated to this booth.
She did. I was so shocked, but so happy.
I was like, what is this? What is this? And Tina was like, we're going back. Oh my gosh. Okay, so Tina, you grab yours.
Yes.
So what do you have on?
Right now,
a mixture.
Yes. So I have on Drama Queen, which is a really deep purple. And I tend to shy away from deep colors, but that purple was just
purple.
Woo, it was what?
Nothing against the company. I just don't like purple.
There's something wrong
with here somehow.
And it's gorgeous. It's beautiful.
Anyway, go ahead.
Anyway, Drama Queen, and then I mixed it with Cocoa Cooler, and yeah, I am. And if you haven't figured it out by now, we are talking about Lip Bar.
Yes,
Ooh.
These. Oh my gosh, let me tell you guys. So I have on Merlot, and let me first of all, packaging. So I am not a marketer, but I did go to business school. But let me tell you, I'm a marketer's dream because you get pretty marketing and packaging. I'm like, ooh, well, let me try that. I didn't even see the packaging before, and if I would have seen it, I would have like still bought this. Like this is, look at this top. Anyway, so yeah, so this is Merlot. Look at that. Isn't that pretty?
That's
Isn't
gorgeous.
that pretty?
That's so pretty.
It's at Target, y'all.
Yes.
You already know how bad Target is. Like Target is dangerous already.
It is.
Like, so
you go in for toothpaste, you leave with 150.
I told Tia, like I
don't understand.
Yeah, I went in to like go and see what what colors were at this Target, and I was like, oh, let me see what type of boots they have there too. I'm gonna go and pick up a pair of boots. I walked out with no boots, 3 lipsticks.
It's true. I was on the phone when this happened.
Yeah. And what else? Oh, wine glasses. Like what? I don't need wine glasses.
Oh, Target.
Yeah. So, y'all, Lip Bar, go online. I mean, technically, should I say what day we're recording? Black Friday? We're recording on Black Friday. It doesn't matter. But we won't get this up by Black Friday.
No.
But keep checking them out.
Yeah.
Because
if you don't even know their story, like Melissa R. Butler, is that her name? She's the CEO. She was on Shark Tank, y'all.
Yes. Did you watch like the clip?
I saw the clip.
Ooh, girl.
First of all, I want to commend you, Melissa, for keeping your composure
the whole time. Because what did he say?
He called them colorful cockroaches.
That's what he said. And the other thing, if you didn't, it's a Black-owned company. So for a grown white man to call young, like, I mean, I don't know how old she is, but she's not that old at all.
No, she's not.
A young Black woman who's out here like starting this business, who worked on Wall Street, right?
Did she?
I think she did something with finance or something. Like the girl's on her stuff.
Yeah.
But to say that her product that people with her product on look like colorful cockroaches. Composure.
Yeah, I just wouldn't.
Yeah.
I wouldn't have been able to handle that.
No. Like
as professionally as she did.
Because so you go, girl.
They stood there and smiled, and I was just like, whoa.
Yeah.
Whoa.
Yeah.
But she didn't let that stop her dream.
She didn't.
She continued to make these wonderful, amazing, beautiful products. First of all, he doesn't know anything about high fashion, because if he did, he would know models everywhere wear colorful lippies.
And what's so crazy is that this was kind of even before the craze of all of these like mainstream companies started pushing out. Because I watched a clip of like those who like didn't make it or who didn't get a deal or whatever, and then like they were talking about that whole thing, how like huge companies afterwards started doing this thing. She's already been ahead of the curve. Already ahead.
Innovator. And she kept going.
Yes.
And now she's in Target, and she doesn't have to share her coin with any of those sharks.
No.
Get your money, girl.
So you got yours online at Target. I got mine in store at Target, but I also just ordered way too much online, just on their website. It's thelipbar.com, but you can check them out on Instagram. And this isn't even an ad. We don't have no money. I mean, nobody
being sponsored.
We don't have no sponsorship. We just fell in love with the product.
Yeah.
And just so you guys know, this will probably maybe be up before Christmas, so just don't be surprised when you guys open your Christmas gifts. And
it's all Lip Bar.
You're welcome, guys. We're all gonna be just out here popping. Like, I actually wore lipstick to work.
Y'all, that's a big deal. She does not wear lipstick.
I use it all the time. I don't wear makeup to work. I only go to work in the office 2 days a week.
No, well, that's a blessing.
Yeah. So anyway, go check them out, y'all.
Please do.
It's worth it. And they're not even crazy expensive.
They're not.
No. Like,
this was crazy. It's so pigmented, and it's not crazy expensive.
No. And they last. Oh. Like, we have on the actual lipsticks, but the liquid matte. Melissa. Girl, I've never described anything as velvet that goes on my lips. That is pure velvet. You did that, girl. You did it.
You did. Slow clap. Slow clap. Yes, ma'am.
All right. Well, let's stop fawning over Melissa, but we'll come back, girl. And anytime you want to just, we'll take some, we'll do some stills so we can, give you some shout
We were even going to do a slow-mo promo for you. But
that was all going to be her. I was not.
Well, I tested it. It didn't come out.
I don't know what that was. Lazy eye.
She
that
said
was
I had a lazy eye.
I
was like, no, I'm being sexy. She was like, no, that's a lazy eye.
It's still over here. You already. It wasn't good. So we didn't want to represent your company like that.
No, that wasn't gonna be right.
So anyway, yes. So what are we talking about today?
Guys, this is the last video in our relationship series.
Yeah.
So the first video was, what was it titled? Oh, Lord.
I mean, the biggest part of it was, people will probably know it as the Dwayne Wayne Whitley and Byron
debate. That's not what it was called.
It wasn't called that.
But that was the first video. And then the second one was about friendships. What about your friends?
Yes. What about your friends?
Again, thank you so much, Cammie and Kelsey, for participating. You ladies were excellent.
Yes. So we're going to be wrapping up this this discussion about relationships, and we're jumping back into kind of our original topic, just based off of some things that kind of came up in our conversations once we posted the video, and then just in our day-to-day lives. So let's just jump right on in there and let's talk about what you've been up to.
Okay.
All right, girl.
So first of all, I want to retract everything that I said initially about online dating.
Let me pause real quick. Let me tell you, you don't know how special it is to get a retractment. I'm gonna take it as an apology. You may or may not.
No, it's not an apology.
We'll get to that a little bit later. That's probably why our issue. We'll get to that a little bit later.
You're probably right. That's the root of all of our issues. Oh my gosh, I never thought about that.
Yep, that's why these are important. Okay, go ahead.
All right. So anyway, I do retract my previous statement about online dating. I did actually get back on online dating. Yes. Whew. And it has gone much smoother this go round.
Mm-hmm.
Like, I even got asked out a couple of times. So it's been a much more positive experience for me. Yeah, yay.
What led you there?
So I actually started taking this course. This course came about because I was just doing some self-reflection, my past relationships, and just trying to, analyze some things about myself, get to know myself a little bit better. And
who is me?
Right. Who is Latina? And so I'm
By the way,
there.
we know that was not grammatically correct. It was supposed to be. Some people.
No, they should know.
Well,
they know how we are.
Well.
It's just our family. They know.
That's true. Parents just shaking. Oh Lord, that's not what I told her. No, we have other people. Way. We are close to 100 on some of those posts. So,
well, that's awesome.
Yeah.
Thanks, guys. Thank y'all for watching and subscribing.
Yes.
Please subscribe.
Yes.
Subscribe below if you haven't already.
Yes, do that.
Join the family.
Do it.
The Side Eye family.
Yes.
Yeah.
All right. So go ahead. So
I started taking this course. I saw something posted on Instagram. She posted it. I won't say who it is, but she posted it, and it was one of her students, and that student had gotten engaged from following her direction, and just some of the advice she gives in the course. So I was like, well, let me sign up for this course. So I signed up for it, and it has been a pleasant surprise, kind of like good and bad. Like, ooh, I do that. Ooh, one of the things she's like, one of the things that we discuss a lot is just owning our femininity while mastering our emotions. So it's okay to be in your feelings. It's not okay to be controlled by them. That's one thing. Just mastering my emotions. I know I can be hot-headed. I think I've gotten better. Yeah. I have. Don't listen to her. I totally gotten better.
You have.
feel like I'm doing better. So.
You are doing. I say that you are doing better in situations like, and I don't know how to say this, like, not saying that like our friendship doesn't matter, but like in places that it really matters in like really building new like relationships. Does that make sense? Like in spaces, like there's not too many conversations that you and I have that are that serious to get true. Like to get that hot-headed, but they're obviously in like new relationships, work relationships, and certain things like that. There have been situations in those conversations that like I'm like, oh, the old Tina would have been, and I, you know, she would have, yeah. But because those are more serious, and like you have to treat them with kid gloves, like you have to do better. So yeah. Good job.
Yeah. So anyway, that is basically what happened. And she just advised us all to like get back on online dating because that's where you're gonna meet people.
Good job.
So that's what I did. And she also gives us little scripts, just to kind of like start off a combo. So I appreciate that because I can admit like this is gonna go into another topic. I don't mean to do that, but it's just kind of gonna bleed over. But we were talking about how I don't even want to like pinpoint the church or pick on the church, but society in general.
I have the same side eye, so we can go ahead and just do it.
Okay. They teach women to turn off their sexuality until marriage, basically. Mm-hmm. Now, with guys, they teach something totally different. And that is actually my side eye. I once had a guy who I was getting along with. We had great conversations. We had so much in common. We were vibing so well. And he told me, like, I'd never get a ring on my finger until I slept with him. Like, I had to sleep with him first. And for me, that's like a no-no. That's one of my, like, core values. He was not a fan of that. And I remember being like, is he serious? Like, is he going to throw all of this away? Like, over sex?
Did you say all of this?
All of this?
All of this?
You're gonna throw all of this away? But yeah, he was, and he did. Mm-hmm. And I remember being so infuriated with him, but the more I thought about it, the more I thought about like what he said, and what he said was, well, my grandfather taught me this. And yeah, for me,
and you lean back just like that, like, what?
I really should be mad at granddaddy.
Oh, this your granddaddy.
But I had to think about, you know, like, if his grandfather told him that, then that's the value for him. Right. Like, he's only learning what he was taught, and I'm only living out what I was taught. But we were taught two totally different things. Yeah. So I don't know how anyone would expect any of us to have, like...
to come together.
Yeah.
Unless somebody is breaking something that they believe
that they've been taught.
And we are the ones who have to break that versus them.
Yes. All the time.
Yes.
All the time.
Yeah. So ours are kind of... it's the same. We both have the same side eye. Mine came from a little bit different perspective. So mine came about... and I think we've had the conversation, but not in depth. And it came back up in like a therapy session for me. And we were talking about how like when I went through premarital class, like it was basically like, if you are having sex, you shut it down. Like, shut it down. And so, when we got to the point to being serious about like really serious, I was feeling conflicted because of how I was raised, and even though I didn't spend every waking moment in the church, of what I knew to be my foundation of faith and how I was raised when we were continuously going to church. So I was conflicted, and then when we had this premarital course, before we even, I think, we weren't even engaged yet. It was just like our seriously dating, like course or whatever, shut down. So for me, I was like, whew, I felt relieved. Like, okay, look, now we can go by the books. We're good. Like, if this we're I want this marriage to be blessed by God. Like, we've got to do these
and that's
things.
what they tell you.
You got to do these things, right? So you shut it down. And truth be told, when you get out of practice, you get out of practice. So for me, you're like, you get this mindset of like what sexuality is, and like it's like tarnished, honestly, when you start to think about how you should feel about it as a woman. So then you fast forward, and for us, fast forward a year and a half, like probably almost 2 years between like the course, getting engaged and actually getting married. And then it's like you're supposed to turn on the switch of just being like, everything is wild in the bedroom. And it's like,
a freak in the sheets.
Yeah. And it's
How?
like,
How you do that?
wait. I'm supposed to just flip the switch in my head that's like, this is okay, when I've been taught all of my life.
All of our lives.
All my life? I couldn't even do the washing machine outside my house. And let me tell you what the washing machine, if you ever seen Selena when she was like doing, like, I couldn't even move my hips. I mean, I still did the washing machine.
She did. We was in school. Down the hall.
But I'm saying, like, for you to have that, like, living with that constant, like, battle of what's right and what's wrong, and then all of a sudden this thing is supposed to be just okay, it literally, like, it leaves you conflicted. And so, so it came up in my therapy session, because it's like, how do I remove some of these stigmas from me to just be free, like sexually? And
it's when you said like you just shut it off, like it's been shut off for a while for me. A really long time. And I don't think church or society in general like understands that when you shut that part of you off, like there are other things that are affected by that, like flirting. I don't know how to flirt. Like, I would be sitting somewhere and a guy, or walking somewhere and a guy would like stare me down and not come up to me, not say anything. And I would get so frustrated and be like, well, he's staring at, he's obviously interested. Why doesn't he come over here? What's wrong with these men today? What is going on, Jesus? So I was super annoyed. Like, and then I had to realize, like, well, Tina, like,
what does your face look like?
Exactly. I'm sitting there frowning. So he thinks like I'm not interested. Yeah. Like, when really I am interested. I don't know what my face looks like. I don't know what you want me to do.
I should have been there.
No.
Because I could have been like, your face. Fix your face.
But even like, maybe not my face, maybe my body language, you know? Like, but y'all had me turn off this sexual part of me, and that turned off a bit of femininity. So now I'm just walking around like this, looking mad. And I'm not. I'm really not. But you had me turn off that part. So I don't know how to flirt. I don't know how to just be like, oh, hi. Like, you know, like, I don't know. I'm super awkward now. Yeah. I can't even imagine, like, getting married. And
Girl.
What?
Did you just hear something?
What?
Do you think that's why so many of us are awkward and black? That grew up with these stigmas?
Probably.
That's why there's such a huge movement of our, like,
of the awkward black girl.
That's it. Oh my gosh.
We don't know what to do.
Yeah.
I wasn't allowed around boys. I remember reading something online. It says something like, we raise our young women, but we love our young men. And I just feel like boys are taught, like, hey, just wrap it up. Just
be safe.
Be safe. Don't get her pregnant. You know, and like girls are taught, no, it's nasty, it's dirty, keep your legs shut, or you're going to be a whore, you're going to be labeled a slut, you're going to ruin your life.
No, it's true.
It is. So then, like, I have friends that have told me that they had to have a couple of drinks of wine the night of their wedding because they couldn't get comfortable otherwise. Like, I don't want to have to be inebriated to, like, enjoy my wedding night.
Yeah.
It shouldn't be like that.
No, it shouldn't. It's not fair. It's not right.
It's not right.
It's not okay.
That's not okay, though.
We're going to make it anyway.
We are.
We're just out here just living our best lives the best we can.
Yeah.
That's actually why we started this whole thing. So you were telling us about what you've been doing and how that's kind of...
that went left.
Yeah, no, it was good. No, it was good because we already did our side eye. But the one thing that I thought was interesting is you were talking about you taking this course and kind of learning more about yourself, which is so important to be able to do before you get into relationships, because being your best, as best as possible to your whole self is like one of the key things that we always hear. And you don't realize how unwhole you are. Is that a thing? Unwhole you are until you like really start to chip away at like your brokenness and like really start to unpack some stuff. So, but some things that we've actually done to kind of figure out ways to like kind of really get to know, ways you can get to know yourselves, and things that actually are used in both premarital courses are like different. Obviously, there's always like personality tests and stuff like that, but the key ones for relationships have been like the 5 love languages. And I was also telling Tina, I was listening to a podcast, and there was also an apology language, which I thought was so interesting. I had never really heard it before the podcast. Tina, you hadn't heard of it before
at all.
So we thought it would be interesting to take them. So we're going to talk about our love languages, and then we'll talk about our apology love languages. And so this is the part where we were talking about a minute ago, where we were like, wait, because we literally I just retook my love language, and we just finished the apology quiz, and we're like, this is probably why we don't get along well, because we don't know how to apologize to each other in our languages. Okay, not my subscription. Okay, so we're going to start with our love language, right?
Okay.
All right. So mine, I just took, and I have their equal. It's acts of service and physical touch. And I thought it was interesting because, like I said, I did this in my premarital classes. I can't remember my exact results, but I know words of affirmation were probably a little bit higher, just because I know me and the things that I'm dealing with now. So I'm actually surprised it wasn't even higher here, but it is like my third highest. It's like 8, and then 6 more my words of affirmation. So what do you have?
So my top one was receiving gifts.
Mm-hmm.
It has 11.
11's my favorite number, by the way.
And then we have, they're tied for second, acts of service and quality time.
Those are good. So we were kind of talking about it a little bit before, and we were talking about the physical touch. And it doesn't surprise me that much that physical touch is actually on my list now, or a little bit higher. More for like the non-sexual stuff, meaning like holding hands, hugs, those things are really important to me. And so we were kind of joking about it, and because where's your physical touch?
In the bottom.
And it's like 2. And you said, why do you, well, I was telling her, I was like, that probably happened because every time they have like a random physical touch question, you were probably rolling your eyes. And I was like, because they were all like hugging and holding hands, and you said it was
cheesy.
And I was like, no, it's cute. And you pretty much...
It's corny.
Yeah. And I was like, it makes sense. So, okay. Was there any of them that you were really surprised about?
I really wasn't. Like, receiving gifts. So, I think I've taken this 3 or 4 times. Mm-hmm. Every time I take this, receiving gifts is like my top one. And for me, like, I won't say the feeling is the same, but I get it. I understand why this is my top one, because I love giving gifts. So when like I give like the perfect gift, I can't begin to explain to you how that makes me feel.
Yeah. It's true. No, yeah.
Yeah, like watching somebody
even Christmas for like I feel you, because I feel the same way when it comes about gifts as well. Like even we hardly ever wait till Christmas to give each other gifts. Yeah. Whenever we know we've like knocked it out of the park, we're like, oh girl, you got okay, we're gonna do it now.
I don't know. The feeling is just, I can't
that
explain
smile right there is the same smile that she did. And it's awkward because you're like, oh, okay, you're sending me to her.
it. I'm like just watching the person open it like, you're gonna love it.
Have you ever given a gift and the person didn't love it?
If they did, they didn't tell me.
Okay, because that would be awkward.
Because I feel like, so here's the other thing. For me, I recognize when a relationship is in trouble if I don't know what to give the person. So
that's very interesting.
Yeah. It's something I realized because a few Christmases back, I was exchanging gifts with some friends of mine, and there was like a couple of friends that I really didn't know what to give them. I didn't know what to get them, and everybody else was spot on. Like, I just knew they were gonna love what I got them. And then those two friends that I didn't know about, I was like, like, is something going on there? Like, for me, like, it's a key indicator, as weird as that sounds. Like,
no, that's pretty prolific.
Yeah, I can tell if something's up if I don't know what to give you.
Look at you.
That could just mean we're just not conversing as much as we used to. We're just not communicating enough. But yeah, I know. I can tell. So, yeah.
Awesome. Any of them? So nothing else stood out to you? Surprising?
No, nothing was surprising. The physical touch, that's just not the kind of touch I want. So that's at the bottom, obviously. Words of affirmation, I don't really find who I am and other people's opinions of me. Like, that's none of my business, really. I know who I am. I don't know.
I'm still reaching for those goals. It's my third. It's actually surprised it's not higher.
So. It's my second to last. None of this. Quality time, I can understand why that tied for second. I can understand that. Even though, like, I'm not a big fan of physical touch, like, I still want to spend time with you. So I get that. And then acts of service to me is kind of like receiving a gift. Like, you pick up a broom, like, oh, man. We good.
Same. That's why it's number one for me. That's why it's number one. Because it's just like you said. Like, it's acts of service. And to me, like you said, they kind of go hand in hand because acts of service can be a gift. Because if my schedule's crazy or it's just like I've been super stressed, and the fact that you said, like, pick up a broom, you wash some dishes, fold some clothes, throw a load of laundry in, like, you don't even know. Talk about knocking walls, like knocking walls. I can't even speak right now. I'm just excited how I can't even talk right now. It really does mean a lot because it's like, look, you've taken the time to think, what does she have on her schedule that can be taking her away from these things? I've got some time. Let me go ahead and knock them out. It's the same thing. To me, that's the same way that you should give. And it doesn't have to be. And that's the other thing that I think that's important. I don't know if you touched on this, but like when it comes to gifts and service, it shouldn't be things that are spent. Like, it doesn't take a lot of money. Like, to me, the more money you throw at me, the more I actually don't like it. Like, I don't like things being, like, money being thrown at situations or gifts. Like, to me, you could have put more thought into things, and it could have been something super, super small. Like now there is one gift that it kind of would take over acts of service and gift giving, and it is a little expensive. If anybody or my husband would like to give a rumba, because it can do acts of service all day. You just say, look, man.
I was looking this morning. I was like, I gotta find a rumba that's
But you know what though? I heard that there's it's not that brand, but it's still the same concept and it works a little bit better. Or works just as good. So I think they said they found it on Amazon. So I'm telling you, that thing.
I looked on Amazon.
And it wasn't.
What was it?
I don't remember the brand. I don't know the specific brand.
Let's look after this.
Yeah. But yeah, that would be an amazing gift
awesome.
and act of service.
And let me just clarify, just for myself, I like money. So if you want to give me money, I'm fine with that.
I'm not.
I'm so good with that. Of course, if you want to give me a thoughtful gift, I'm good with that too. I'm good with all of it, really.
I'm not, but you kind of know probably why it is for me. Like,
yeah.
I need you to think about me. Like, I don't want this to be a cookie cutter gift that you could give to like anybody off the street. Yeah. So, yeah. All right. So we did that one, and we did the apology.
Let me find that.
Now this one we didn't really talk about as much, but obviously we've been talking about it as we've been going through and interpreting. Let me sit back a little bit on this. All right, so we're going to. Okay, so let's probably explain because I don't know, some of these people may not be as familiar. Love languages is a huge thing. It's been around for forever. I don't know how long apology languages have been out, but it's a thing. We didn't know, so let's explain it to them. It's basically the same concept, but it's when you take the quiz, it's how you truly can accept, or how you expect others to apologize to you to truly be able to accept and to move forward with that relationship, whether it's friends or spouse, work, however. So it gives you 5 different options, and obviously they score them. So Tina, you want to list yours?
Sure. So the 5 options, just so that you guys know, are make restitution, accept responsibility, express regret, genuinely repent, and request forgiveness. So my top one was make restitution. It had 9, scored 9. And then the second one and the third one, they were tied. So they're both actually second. But accept responsibility and express regret.
And my top was genuinely repent and accept responsibility and make restitution. We're tied there. So this is why we.
So how close were your scores, though?
Oh. Okay, so mine were actually. It was my top was 6 and my tied 2 were 5. So It's basically like neck and neck. Everything just basically. You need to genuinely repent, like make sure I understand that you really meant it. Accept responsibility for what you did, and let's make a resolution. Is that how that one went?
What is that? Aaliyah?
Yeah. How did the resolution go?
Am I supposed to change, or are you supposed to change? We need a resolution.
That's right. I was like, how does the actual chorus go though? Anyway, yeah. So how do you feel like you can apologize better to me, Tina?
So what was your top
one? Now that you
again?
know that.
Genuinely repent is your top one. Okay, so I really have to say, I apologize and will never do this again. That's repentance. Repentance is acknowledging it and then like turning away from it, like not doing it again. Okay, so what do you think you can do?
What's your top one?
Make restitution. Which doesn't surprise me, y'all. Words mean nothing to me. Like, I need you to fix it. This is a good test.
I can just be like, girl, I ain't gonna do it again. And that's basically what happens. And then she's just like, I'm not listening to you. So that's how we normally apologize. So a better way is for me to obviously still kind of what you said, to kind of go through those steps, because I feel like even like when you throw out like when you make a restitution, you can't just be like, I'm gonna fix it by this. Like, I mean, I still need to say I'm sorry. Like, and that's another thing. Let's talk about this. Sometimes a lot of situations, both when it comes to romantic relationships and just friendships, you need to apologize for the person, but you also need to apologize for yourself. Because a lot of times, especially in relationships, when you're going through situations, you can have there are times when you're apologizing, but you're still holding on to that guilt. So, so for me, like, if something happened between us, I would literally have to go through my own steps of those top ones for me to be able to say, like, whatever this was, I've got to be able to let it go. So even though that's your first one, I would make sure that I would put more emphasis on that, but still making sure that I go through the list of making sure you understand that I really did not mean to do whatever it was. And luckily, your top one is like in the tie for my second one. So you're going to get satisfaction out of it, but I'm still going to get satisfaction out of the fact that I allowed myself to release whatever this was. So I still get pleasure out of telling you.
And I think, that's important because a lot of the times when it comes to apology, when it comes to repentance, confessions, it seems like a burden.
I don't know why I'm in like this interrupting singing mood today, but that's exactly what it is.
I mean, he should have felt burdened by that confession. Well, sure. But anyway, a lot of the times it's looked at kind of like a burden, like kind of negative. But you should also know there's some satisfaction in it for you as well.
Yeah. You gotta let it go. Like, L-I-G it.
Lig. I don't like that.
You just say L-I-G it.
Lig it.
No, not gonna do that. Gonna cut that and kill that out. Yeah, not gonna do that. So I think those are good, but I think it's stuff like that. It's courses like you took. It's taking these quizzes and not just taking them just to take them, because I don't know, for me they're fun. But obviously there's some truth into it, and there's ways to be able to learn how to communicate better. And those are the things that are only going to strengthen your relationships romantically or your friendships, to ensure that you are really, really working together and vibing together and on the same wavelength, because it makes a huge difference.
Yeah.
So, I mean, not that this was heavy, but I was going to say, let's transition a little bit and let's talk about having fun in dating and relationships.
Woo-wee.
Yeah. So it's important to do it. So, no.
And you can talk from a different perspective because you're married. So how do you have fun when you're dating your husband?
I think this is an interesting thing. My husband and I are very different personalities. Like, we are just completely different. Like, if we would have met in two different times in our lives, like, I would have been, like, he literally would have been on a football field and I would have been in the library sitting outside the lab in a quiet room. Like, we probably would have.
The perfect rom-com.
Yeah, like, yes, exactly. It's everything that she's on that was made. Oh my God, it's literally every movie I've ever watched. My dreams came true. Oh, dreams do come true. So just keep having faith out there. Little nerdy choir girls out there, little socially awkward girls. It's possible. But yeah, so we're completely different. So what's important for us when we have fun is finding out how we have fun together, but what's fun for each other, and making sure that we give that time to those things. So for me, music. And this is actually kind of a commonality. Our genre is just a little bit different. So, but we have certain like artists and stuff that we like together. So going to concerts are really important, and making sacrifices. Not, I don't want to say sacrifices, but going to the other like artists that each other likes is important, and honestly kind of is a gift and also a service, depending on which side it is.
Yeah.
It's a service for him and it's a gift for me. Like, he's going to the Mariah Carey concert in February.
Wow.
Wow. He's already been to a Mariah Carey concert. He's been to...
And he's going back to one?
Yeah. He drank the first time. He's going to be sober this time, though. He just doesn't know it. It's going to be so good. This album is so great.
You're going to make him do that sober?
Oh, what do you mean I'm going to make him do that? He can have a drink.
Because you know she did.
Wow. You know, she used to have a champagne.
She did?
Mm-hmm. I never tried it. I think I was 21 when it came out. But yeah. It was expensive.
I bet.
It was expensive. Yeah. I would gladly buy it now, though. No matter the cost. Wait, no. No. Still depends on the cost.
I remember she had her fragrances, and I got you that set.
Mm-hmm.
Was it a set or just one?
No, there was set. I don't even know. Like, I've gotten all of them.
I think it was a set.
From all the people.
Because everyone knows her obsession.
Yeah. Love Mariah. So anyway, but yeah, and like going to like, there are some like artists. I sound so lame whenever I'm like rap artist. When there's some rappers that I'm not as familiar with. Like, I know their music, but I'm just not as familiar with them as he is. And like, you know,
is it mumble rap? No,
we don't do that. We don't spend actual good hard-earned money on mumble rap. We can listen to the radio for that. No, these are like conscious rappers or rap that have depth,
like common.
Yeah, a little bit like harder. Yeah, like Big Crit, and
he's conscious.
He's more conscious than like, Lil Wayne.
Anybody's more conscious than Lil Wayne.
No, he actually has some depth to his music. Yeah, and then I don't know. I think it's Toby. No.
I've never heard of him.
He's out of Houston. So we're going to go see his concert in December on the 16th. So, yeah. I'm actually really excited for that one. So, it's been getting a lot of shine lately. His music's pretty dope. It's very vibey. So, you know, I love vibey music. So, so just doing stuff like that, and like for his birthday, we went and did I Fly. Like, he's really adventurous. I'm not. I had 2 panic attacks in the middle of I Fly. Did I tell you that?
You said it on the post.
Yeah.
You told the world.
Yeah. I'll gladly tell you guys I had panic attacks. It was just like, and it was bad because it's like 2 separate ones. I thought I was okay after the first one to do it again because you do it like twice. And I was like, yeah, no. And actually, I feel it again just thinking about it. So,
what made you panic though?
You're off your feet in a wind tunnel. It literally takes your breath away. I was like, I cannot breathe. And the man was like, there's more oxygen in here than out there. I was like, I don't care. I can't breathe. Yeah. I know it's a control thing. I have control issues. So.
Well, no, I was just trying to figure out why you panic.
It's a control thing. Yeah, because you literally have no control. The same feeling that I got in there is the same feeling that I feel when I'm in large bodies of water. So.
You know it is different though, right?
What you mean?
Like, that space is different.
Than being in water?
Yeah.
I still could have fallen and died.
No.
Yeah,
no.
Yeah. Have you been in that wind tunnel?
Yeah. Like,
no.
They're on the ground holding you. Like, they're holding you.
Yeah. Mm-mm. He could have slipped. Hit his head. And I would have just been sucked up in this wind tunnel.
No. That's not what we're having.
This is where we differ. I would like for you to apologize. But anyway, so doing things that get you outside of your comfort zone, and I think being open to the things like that allow you to know that it exposes you to things that you never would have thought. Like, we went once, and this wasn't even like a date thing, but his little sister is also the whole family is very adventurous. I don't know how. Adventure to me is like skating. Like, I'm not adventurous at all. But we did go Abe, which is like this course thing, obstacle course. But it's like with zip lining and has a lot of heights. And I'm not really afraid of heights. So like, I don't even know why. I don't even know why. How I would have had an issue with this. But the first doing the first one, I was just like, oh dear God, like it was terrifying at first, but it got easier the further we went, and the zip lining was the easiest part, honestly, going through the course. But yeah, so just doing stuff like that, and then like just finding really quiet moments, like and again finding our commonality. We both enjoy a good drink. I love bougie movie theaters. Love bougie movie theaters. All of our viewers know what a bougie movie theater would be, right? I'm guessing. I think they better. Yeah. Love a bougie movie theater. So, love going to them. Yeah, and just like finding like just little things. Free things. So it doesn't always have to be crazy expensive.
Free. Woo.
Yeah. Like I honestly downloaded the Eventbrite. At first I downloaded the Eventbrite app because of like some out of town stuff, and then I started to realize how much free stuff is in the city, but it's advertised on Eventbrite. So for us, like I downloaded Eventbrite, and it's a good way for us to just find out if there's any free things, because it's always good to be cost conscious. Whenever it's about date night, you don't have to spend a whole bunch of money. But in Dallas, there's a lot going on, but you really don't always know that there's stuff going on. So just finding out ways for us to just do small things together. And for us, it's just about the commonality. So we do like to grab a good drink here and there. What else? We haven't been in a while, but like skating and just like little things like that we can just do. And it doesn't take up a lot of time.
I can't skate, y'all.
Let me tell you, I own a pair of skates, and something is up with this left leg. It just don't lift. It just don't lift. And I'm ashamed. And I'm ashamed, my brother Michael, when you watch this, I'm so sorry. Like, I'm ashamed to be your sister when it comes to skating these days. I need to get lessons again. I can skate. I can skate, and I can still hit the butterfly on my right leg, but the left leg, I don't know. It's just like, it literally feels like dead weight. I don't know. I think I just need to start skating more. But yeah, so it's just stuff like that. But we still, we still have to do better, because when life gets really busy, like we won't end up having like those times, or we'll find ourselves when we do go out, it's still with like a lot of people. So we have to make sure we are conscious about having time for just us two. So, which is important. So we still have room to do better on that end. But I think like even on that, like I think what's important, and we were kind of having this conversation earlier and just in the past, it's obviously you want to have the time where you're together, where you're working on your communication and how you guys interact together. But it's also important when being whole people that you have some time by yourselves. I don't know, Tina says that she kind of laughs at me and a couple of our other friends, because like we are fine with just having some time and space. Like, it's healthy. Like, he likes to smoke cigars, and like he'll go to the cigar bar. And me, most of the time when he's at the cigar bar, I'm probably just at the house, like watching Lifetime and Hallmark Christmas movies. But I'm good and content. Like, or like hanging out with y'all, or going to, grab a drink, or, whatever. We have that time where, we have, like, we kind of you have time to refuel as individuals, and then you can come back and we can have our special time together. But yeah, I think it's important. But then I think there are some people who just don't know how important that is. And that's kind of scary to me.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I mean, I'm sure they'll get there, though.
I mean, that's true. Like, yeah, because we've been together for...
Yeah.
That's the crazy thing. I was thinking about, like, it'll be 11 years, like, together on Christmas Eve. Like, it's crazy. So, I have to do something big since it's our 11th dating anniversary. And 11's my number. So, maybe you guys can help me.
11's my birthday. 4/11.
Just like you got your car color. Because of me.
Dating for me.
Rude. feel about both of those like kind of two ends of that? I mean, like, what do you see for yourself?
So dating should be fun. I was the one who came up with that topic, and I wholeheartedly agree. However, like, being in singlehood, it's not fun. It's not.
Yeah.
I know too many single women who, well, they're not single anymore, but when they were single, they just hated dating because it's so much of a hassle.
Yeah.
Like it's literally like going on the same date with just a different person. Like we're just going out to eat. Yes. We're talking about the same stuff. I'm telling you about my childhood. It's just.
This is not therapy. No, no, like I could only imagine. And I think one of the things we were kind of talking about, I don't know if we talked about it. I know we talked about it off camera, but like when we were talking about online dating and stuff. But I think even just dating in 2018, like I could not even.
It's hard.
Imagine.
We were talking about online dating.
Yeah.
Because technology, yes, it has come so far. It has helped us so much, but it also just hindered like our face-to-face relationship.
Yeah, I think the song I sang to you was Telephone Man.
Yes. No one wants to pick up the phone and call and just have
something wrong with my line. Sorry.
I mean, yeah. That's like for real. Like, what in the world?
Yeah, I could not even imagine. And I'm like, and it's funny because I don't think I'm even a phone talker. I don't know if I was so much a phone talker back then. But
you were in high school. We both were.
Yeah, because that was the only
form of communication. Yeah. But now I'm more of a texter. But if I'm getting to know you, like,
right. And even then, though, but like I think the thing is even with that, it's like you still communicate in text message. Again, when I was looking to find your address again, I realized there was just nonsense in our text message. And even like we're in another group message this week, and I'm like, oh my gosh, we've got so much to chat about. Like I've missed, the other ladies that are in that group message. So it's just like there are still proper ways to communicate in those tools. Yeah. And I don't think people find them valuable these days. Yeah, when dating. So
communication is so valuable.
Yeah, and I'm not a perfect communicator at all.
I'm not either.
I still suck at communication, phone, text.
But I can hold a conversation, and I find that a lot of the conversations now, let me say this. Initially, I couldn't. I didn't know how to flirt, didn't know how to hold a conversation with a man, wasn't around men a lot of my life. So I was around my dad, who's quiet.
Yes. He's very quiet.
So, like, I just wasn't around guys that really knew how to communicate. You had brothers. I didn't have that. I had cousins, but I wasn't around them all the time, obviously. Yeah. So, I mean, it's just one of those things where...
You learn how to flirt back then, though. You was flirting hard with my brother.
No, I wasn't.
Oh, you were running away from him every time. Or me hiding from him from you. He's 12 years older than us. So. Wow.
Good old days.
Oh, were they?
Oh, man.
Why she's so obsessed with him?
He was cute. But yeah, like, I find now that in online dating, some guys are fine. They're okay. But other guys, like, we were doing this. Like, Tanisha, if we were just talking, and I was like, Tanisha, what's your favorite color?
My favorite color is blue, and I really love it because, so we were doing this earlier, and she was about to say, and you would explain, and I'm like, yeah, you actually interrupted me. And it's because I've always loved baby blue, like UNC of Chapel Hill. And then I actually asked myself a question. I was like, oh, are you from North Carolina? Oh, no, I'm not from North Carolina, but I've just always loved the university. And no, I didn't go or anything. No, I went to small private university. Like, it would. And this would have, that would have probably been my actual natural, like, communication or like conversation with that. But I think when we talked about this too, that like guys and girls obviously are very different. And a guy probably would have given a dry like response.
Yeah, he would just be like blue.
But,
and there's something so simple that you can do, and it's really just reverse the question.
Yeah.
Like, Blue, what's your favorite color? Yeah, like it's that simple. But guys nowadays, they don't do that, and so they say these one-word answers, and then you're like, okay, well, mine.
Here? Like,
yeah, it's like, what's going on? Yeah. And you reached out to me, like, why don't you know how to converse?
Our guys really, like, I've been seeing this, like, online, like, not online, but, like, in TV shows and stuff, and been hearing it, like, on podcasts and stuff, where, like, guys are really, like, texting WYD. Is that what you? Yeah. Like, that's a thing, for real? Mm-hmm. And then, like, do they, like, when you respond, is it, like, a dry response? Like, like, oh, that's what's up. Like, is that what the... Like,
I don't respond.
Okay. Like, I don't understand, like, how, like, sir, you didn't even try to spell words. Like, I would not even know what to do with God.
I don't do anything.
Yeah, like...
I'm like,
no. How do you feel when you get that?
Like I'm not worth
words? Yeah. like,
I'm not worth a sentence? Like, just don't be lazy.
Yeah. Like,
but here's the thing, though. Because I know just because of the way that I was raised, I don't know how to communicate with men. So I'm working on it, right? So if you don't know how to communicate with women, work on it. That's all I'm saying. I know it's a thing to not really know how to communicate. And that's why online dating was so frustrating for me, because I'd ask a question, I'd get a dry response, and then I wouldn't know how to complete the conversation or even ask something else, or, you know, I just didn't know what to do.
How do you do it now? Or do you just know that this person, like, isn't?
How do I, like, continue conversations?
Yeah, try to, like, re-engage it.
Ask interesting questions. Okay. And questions that, like, kind of will make you think.
Okay, so that don't, like, open-ended questions where, like, you really should not be able to give a one-word.
Right, a one-word answer. Yeah.
That's good. That's a good tip, though. Just in general. Just
just ask open-ended questions. Yeah, you're right. That's a good tip. Ask open-ended questions.
Yeah. I mean, and I think that's good. You know, the funny thing is, I think that's just a good tip in general, because I think we, like, even as married, like, couples, you get so, like, even though it's not that you're not communicating, you're communicating about the same things, about the bills, the house, the dog, you know, the same work days. So, like, even, like, trying to, like, re-engage and find out, like, new things, or, you know, kind of grow conversation, being sure to make sure that the questions that you are asking are open-ended. I love, because you know I'm so awkward, I love giving, like, hypothetical, like, open-ended like, questions. I love throwing them out there. Don't ask me for an example, because I can't think of one right now. I saw it in your face, like, what? I know you. But I love doing stuff like that. Or, like, if we're watching something, if it's a scenario is happening, I'm always like, hey, what would happen if such and such did that? Or, like, what if, like, never, like, if it's, like, something that I know would be, like, a too deep, not I don't want to say too deep conversation, but if it's, like, someone killed someone, like, I wouldn't. But if it's random, like, what would you do in that situation type thing? Yeah. That's fun.
One thing that I like to ask is, what is your favorite childhood memory?
Oh, that's a good one.
And it gives me, because if it's a super dark answer, like, I know you had a rough child.
That's good, actually. Well, actually, you know, we was kicking cans and then we found his dead body.
Right.
And then I'm like, wait, was this a scene from a movie? Like, was this, like, Boys in the Hood? Like, are you, like...
I know what I'm dealing with at that point.
Like, you need a hug right now? That's good. That's real good. Look at you.
But it all came from the course.
I know. So. I that's good, though. That's a good one. That's a good one.
So, in talking about marriage, though, something happened in the course of the past couple of weeks, I suppose, with the pastor and the first lady.
Mm-hmm.
And a certain pastor was on Sister Circle.
Oh, yeah.
And he mentioned his wife being a covering and a coat and being 2 sizes too big for him when they initially met. And instead of everybody fawning all over his testimony, they began to attack him because they were saying, you know, you're the husband, you're supposed to be the covering, who was covering her while she was covering you. And he had said something about his wife had to give birth to him, and giving birth to him was more painful than her giving birth to their 2 children. Yeah.
So I heard part of the clip. I haven't heard the whole thing. So to even hear you say it like that, like,
it just sounds like struggle love.
Yeah. So like,
but I wanted to ask a married person's opinion, because there were married couples who were saying, you know, this is marriage though. Like, you struggle, you go through, you uphold one another. And
yeah. I mean, yes, you do. There are things that, here's the truth. I said it earlier about about being as whole as possible. But the reality is that you're ever-growing people, like each of you. So there are still going to be areas in your life that you're just not either completely healed from, or you're in the process of healing from, that are still going to potentially, depending on how old you are, what you've gone through in life, that you're still working through when you get married. But you obviously still want to be as good as possible when you come in, as an individual into a relationship. So I get what he's saying, that, or where people are responding and saying that this is marriage, because there are things that you still have to work. Like, there are stuff that you're working through, and you want that person to be a covering for you. For him to phrase it that his wife gave birth to him, I don't know. I don't know. I guess if I could say, if he can look back and say that my wife gave birth to the man that I am now, that's one thing. But to, like, for him to...
I think that's what he was saying.
Okay. For him to, like, maybe be, like, where he was back then, and to be like, oh, no, she's giving birth to me. Like, sir, why aren't you just doing better? Like, to me, it's like... to me, it would be like a mindset that of him just, like, being a horrible person. Like, I don't want to say a horrible person, but him being in the struggle and just being fine to be in the struggle. And that's what it kind of sounds like. You know what I mean? Like, you're in the birth canal and you just chilling there while she's giving birth to you, and you're not putting in the work.
So, yes, that actually was the conversation. A lot of people were saying, like, hey, it just seems like you're pushing the struggle love narrative that's pushed on women constantly.
Yeah.
Struggle love, ride or die.
I was into a podcast and they called it, well, they used some other words, but they were like, broke dude mentality. Like, no, propaganda. That's what they use. Like, broke dude propaganda, basically to, like, promote, like, broke dudes out here. Go ahead and pick you up one, because eventually they might turn into something.
Yeah. And we talked about this in our very first episode.
Like, potential. Yes. Look at us coming full circle. Hey.
We do know what we're doing.
Yes. But yeah, I mean, I think that it has a time and place, but I still think there is a way to protect yourself. I think that if there is a specific area that my husband was struggling with, that yes, I would definitely cover him, and we would work through and love through whatever that was. But for him to just sit in that place and to know this is an area that he needs to work on, like communication. If that was an area, and for him to just sit there and just not communicate, and I'm supposed to over communicate for the both of us for forever, and him not to put in any work, that's not cute.
I agree.
No.
I agree. And the truth is, I do think the pastor was trying to say what you just said, like something just positive. And something positive about his wife.
He just didn't word it the right way.
Yeah, he didn't word it the right way.
Like,
the way he worded it was problematic.
I birthed you?
Yeah, and then he said something about, and this is really the problem I had. Not
and
so
let me
much, clarify,
because at first I thought you were saying your pastor, just a pastor.
No, yeah, a pastor that was on Sister Circle. The only issue I had, I don't want to say the only issue, but the biggest issue I had was he told a story and then he said something along the lines of, you know, I'm married, my wife was a covering, I married a cover and not a lid. Because if you marry a covering, she'll push you into your destiny. If you marry a lid, she'll block you. And that to me sounds like advice. And so I was kind of having an issue with that because I'm like, ooh, the narrative you just gave was problematic. And now you're promoting the narrative with your saying marry a covering and not a lid. The whole thing it was just kind of off-putting. He just worded it the wrong way.
And I do think that there are, in marriage, there are times where, being very honest, in 2018, there are times where I'm going to be stronger in certain areas, whereas Chris isn't, and vice versa. And so it's just, again, I get where he's saying that whatever those areas were, because in knowing who this pastor is, I don't think he was completely trash. Maybe there were specific areas that he was saying that his wife, and honestly, it probably more than anything, it was probably just maturity. And she was just more mature than he was. And that's where he's getting that very broad statement maybe from, or where he's saying that from. So yeah, I just know when I heard part of the clip, I was like, wait, what? And I didn't hear the earlier part. All I heard was the whole lid and coat thing. And the part that so just hearing the lid and coat part, I was a little disturbed. I was I was playing devil's advocate a little bit. So the two sizes too big thing. Or the coat, no wait, he had the coat thing and the
lid and covering.
Okay, yes. So the two sizes too big thing, that was a part that I was just like, wait, are you just not, she was just too good? I didn't really understand that whole thing. But in knowing who that pastor is, I also know that he loves his wife. So I was like, were you just pumping her up? So I was just I didn't really know. And I was like, okay, let me not take this whole part out of context. But then when I heard the lid and covering part, when he went a little further into it, I was just like, okay, I could see where in general you don't want people in your life who are just basically gonna pigeonhole you or keep you into this box. So I was like, okay. But I think I really think, again, even though his intentions were kind of what we're talking about, words mean things. So, you just gotta, obviously anyone could take anybody's words out of context and make them daggers, but yeah, you just gotta be careful. And careful. I don't know if I would want, I don't know if I would want to be described, or our relationship to be described in that way.
I would not like that.
I don't know. You would have a lot of explaining to do.
Yeah. Which I'm sure she understood it, but I wouldn't like that.
Yeah. And what did he end up saying?
I don't know, because the clip was literally 1 minute long. Yeah. And that's all I watched. I didn't watch the episode.
Yeah.
And then there was this guy who said something, and this pastor and his wife did a live, and the pastor's wife just went off on the dude. Really? So I don't even know,
if anything was explained.
Yeah, like, I mean, the live would have been a perfect opportunity for them to explain what he was actually trying to say, because I think he just worded it wrong.
Yeah.
But instead, like, she just went off on.
They should have just like recorded some videos on Insta and then just posted them. Yeah. If they didn't want the interaction, but hindsight's 2020. But yeah, well, I mean,
good luck to all the married folk out there. Because good luck to you and all the married folk out there.
Good luck to you, girl. Exciting
dating
future.
Journey. My journey.
So, English sojourner too. Oh goodness, yeah. No, yeah, I just don't want to be in that debate or that level of debate. But you know, one debate that I would love to be in right now. What? We have a little like recap or kind of going back on one of our previous conversations. I like how we're just like bringing it all back. Bringing it all back, full circle.
What are we doing?
We're talking about full circle of dealing with exes, and we didn't really talk about this, but ghosting. Let's talk about insecure.
Ooh, insecure.
Because we have been holding this topic of this finale, which it's been months now, but
we're so late. So late, I don't really even remember everything.
Okay, so I can give a hopefully halfway decent recap. And actually, let's do this, because this is a good recap for the end of our series, because it touches on friendships, it touches on exes, and dating relationships. So this is a good one. Okay. So friendship-wise, you had the girls, obviously, everything that happened with Coachella, then the baby shower, and that fiasco. You had them sort of making up, but not like really. Obviously, Kelly and Tiffany kind of had that they had that blow up, but we didn't really get a full on resolution there. And then you had Issa, who we thought that her and I was about to say Yvonne, because that's her real name. What is her name on there? Lord, why can I not think of her name right now? Molly, yes. Issa and Molly, who were actually going to be fine ending the season finale, and then all of a sudden Molly poked her head into the whole Nathan situation, and they got into it. Then you had Nathan, the whole situation with that, because he just ghosted. And worse than that, he ghosted after asking, how do you know it's real? Did you not want to kick him in his whole face?
Yeah.
Whole face. You had that really deep conversation, and then you
disappear.
And then you had Issa going crazy, looking through his trash.
Trying to break into his computer. I do remember that.
Oh, and then you had Molly, who was kind of talking to Asian Bae. Yeah. And then she got weird. And then she ran into Jared, Renabe. Thought he was with a guy. But he wasn't. Overassumed that he wasn't. Had a whole girlfriend. And then you have Issa and Lawrence reconnecting. They tricked us, and we thought we weren't getting Lawrence at all in this season. And he's back.
That's what I thought.
However, he's back. But he's not in the back in the capacity that, well, I don't know if anybody expected or really wanted him to be, but they ran into each other. But we get Lawrence back, which means we get Chad back, and we live for Chad scenes because it's Chad. Well, I live for Chad scenes.
They're hilarious.
Hilarious. Yeah. And so they kind of have I don't even want to say reconciliation. They kind of really just put a closing to their chapter for any of us who were kind of like fawning, like, could they get back together? Could they not? But I think the biggest thing to me with Lawrence's scenes was a scene with him and his father and that whole like baggage situation. So, okay, recap. Now, you go. Tell me how you feel. Pick
Well,
any
I want to talk
topic.
about this. I want to talk about ghosting.
Okay.
Have you ever ghosted someone?
No, I dated I feel like in the primitive ages. So
you couldn't.
It was either like my phone ran out of minutes because that's how long ago I was like dating people when like prepaid phones were a thing in high school. Yeah, no. I mean, no. I was always the one who was like over. I've been ghosted.
You've been ghosted.
I was ghosted. Yeah.
Really?
Yeah, by one person before it was even a thing. Yeah. I don't even know if you really know who this person was.
I don't. I mean, you can't say anything. But
okay. It was a true ghosting because we weren't really dating. I think we went out. We just yeah. You just, it was, yeah. I was like, and I was young too, so I was like,
where'd he go?
I was like, what happened?
Oh,
I know. I would think I was like, I think I was 18. Yeah, it was the summer between we wouldn't know because it was like the summer between my freshman and sophomore year. Yeah, no, I've been ghosted and I was really young, so I was just like, wait, this isn't how any of this works. And I was still like new to dating, so I was just like, what do I do? Just not call. Yeah, so it was. I guess it's cute now, but yeah, I've been ghosted, but I've never ghosted. I mean, I'm a type of I'll write a poem.
And then call you and read it to you.
That's accurate. That's a true story. But yeah, no. Like I always felt like you had to give a reason to like not talk to someone. Yeah.
Just out of respect.
Yeah. Just like that's me. I'm like really thinking, like making sure that I actually like I'm saying this, I'm like
someone's gonna come in the comments section.
She lied.
She ghosted me.
It was me. It was me. If you were ghosted, you probably were off of Dallas Peeps, and I probably shouldn't be talking to you anyway. Mama, they lying. I wasn't talking to them.
That's funny.
But yeah, no. Mm-mm. Have you ghosted?
I ghosted someone. Y'all know me. I'm a straight shooter, so if I get a chance to tell you like why you've upset me, I will tell you. But in this particular situation, this person was in and out of my life, like, and it just wasn't healthy. And so there were always avenues.
Oh, yeah. Never mind. Why did I even ask?
There were always avenues where this person would find me, like, and then
that didn't sound crazy at all. Not at all.
I don't know if it was obsession. I don't know, but it wasn't right, and it was never healthy. And I would always say, hey, like, okay, I'll let you come back in my life, but you can't hit on me, you can't like flirt with me, you can't do any of that.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, and then
what you doing tonight?
Yeah. WID.
Oh God, I don't even know.
It would always happen, like always. So the last time it happened, that person like was drunk, hit on me one night. I shut it down, and then the next day tried to discuss it, and that person.
What are we discussing?
Why you did it? But this person would not discuss it. This person started talking about Rick Ross, so I ghosted.
Yeah, why are you doing the things that I told you not to do? Yeah, so you heard a new Rick Ross? You know he got new wigs?
Are you going to the concert?
Are you going to the concert?
There was a Rick Ross.
Does the person know you?
Exactly. Like,
That wasn't even
That
a good
person just-
segue. It would have been a better question to be like, you want to get them new wings with Ross just released the wing stuff? What? Dear
Wait.
God. He owns Wingstop. Like,
What?
not all of them. He owns he has a franchise. Yeah, he has Wingstop. He actually raps about lemon pepper wings.
That sounds delicious. Now I want Wingstop.
My bad, girl. My bad. Bonus for me. Me too.
That sounds good.
Yeah. But yeah.
Anyway,
Yeah.
So yeah, after repeatedly telling this person not to do something and they just continue to do it, I just ghosted that person.
Well, that person deserved it. I don't even think that's considered ghosting. I think that's just you waking up.
You may be right. Yeah, it was unhealthy. So I have, but that's the only person I've ghosted. Everybody else, I've been like, listen, I'm cutting you off, but this is why. Isn't it funny how like friends feel more anger towards like your exes than you might?
Because this look is still on my face.
I'm over here laughing stuff. She's angry.
I just,
It was a hot mess. It was a mess.
express hot mess. Look, my therapist would have told me to take a deep breath. Shoulders was all in my ears.
So, in talking about ghosting, do you think Issa should take Nathan back?
Okay, so I say all that stuff about ghosting, but here's the thing, because it segues into the whole therapy thing. I think she should hear him out, because the moment he opened his mouth, I was like, that boy is depressed. Like, he has serious bouts of depression. You can see it, hear it, but he has to take responsibility in clarifying that, communicating that in a better way, because what he did was not communicated. Like, he did, but he didn't. He didn't communicate it to where someone who doesn't suffer from depression would be able to understand that. Like, if he could explain that to Issa, and they could actually have an open dialogue about what a relationship could potentially look like between the two of them, I think that she should. Because he's really cute, and they look really cute together. And then he brings out some different things for Issa. I mean, he also brought out the crazy side of Issa. But I don't know. What do you think?
So, here's my thing. And it kind of goes back to the pastor.
I know you were going to say that. I know.
I don't think she should excommunicate him at all. I think you're right. I think he's struggling with something.
Yeah.
But I think he needs to find healing before he tries to enter into a relationship with anybody. Yeah. Because I'm sorry. This fool didn't just ghost her. Like, he left the state. Yeah, like, he went back to Houston. Like,
have you heard the theories, though?
No.
Okay, so there are theories out there that, like, he has a whole family and, like, other things. And that's why, like, when he ghosted, like, like, to a whole other family. Because remember he said, like, I had to wrap up some things. I had to, like, close out. He said something along those terms, and people were like, oh, he had to close up a whole family. He had to close up a whole divorce. And then there are other theories is that he's a felon. And that's why everybody said he ran out of that, the lift or whatever, real quick. So,
he might be a felon.
Yeah. I mean,
he might have a family.
Here's the thing. They haven't gone into it, but Nathan got some baggage, whether it's just him dealing with mental illness or whatever. And I guess this kind of goes in. Back to our conversation about the pastor. What does that look like, having baggage versus, like, I don't even know the right word, but, like, or having just stuff you're not dealing with. You know what I mean? Like, like, everybody's got stuff. You know what I mean? But when you have, like, baggage that's just in the closet you're not dealing with, right? That's just so unhealthy for either party.
Yes.
Like, so I get what you're saying. Like, still, so do you think, like, they should still be cool? Like, I think they will be cool because of the whole Asian Bay and Molly thing. I think their
We're
worlds
going to talk about that in a minute, too.
Okay.
But yeah, no, I do think that they should still be cool.
Mm-hmm.
And she should be there, but she shouldn't be covering him. They're not even married, so that's really not her responsibility.
Yeah.
Like, she shouldn't take that upon herself, though.
Take on the burden of that.
Right.
That makes sense, yeah.
He needs to heal for himself before he tries to enter into any kind of relationship with anyone.
Okay. All right. So let's transition that right over into Molly and...
So, you mentioned her acting crazy.
Who?
Molly. With Asian Bay.
Well, I was saying Issa was acting crazy by snooping, but I do feel some type of way with Molly doing the most with shutting both Jared and Asian Bay down.
So, express yourself.
So, which one? So,
Molly and Asian Bay.
Okay, with Asian Bay, she was rude to him. She needs to, like, it. You know, what you and Dro had was trash. Like, it was trash. Like, there was no possible option of it working. So when somebody calls you out on your stuff, girl, deal with, like, you have to sit in it. Yes, you can be in your feelings about it, but if you know it's true, like, accept responsibility. Like, let's go back to apology languages. Like, that man has not done anything to tax you. He literally protected you when you were messed up on, like, at Coachella. So if he's not using that against you, why would he use a relationship that he knows nothing about to, like, attack you? Like, both of y'all were going back and forth, jonesing each other. So it's like, how can you get this sensitive? And then, for, like, when they, like, obviously she was there at the house for Issa, but you you really playing this off. Like, you didn't just do the most with this man. So, I don't know. I don't think she's messed it up with, no, I mean, he definitely feels some type of way. But I think they're still going to come back together. But I think the relationship will be healthy for her if it does work out, because he's not going to be afraid to pull her coattail. And she needs that. Yeah. Because, oh, Molly. I do love her dog, though. Flavor Flav.
So I agree with you.
Yeah.
I agree with all of that. Do you feel like maybe she reacted that way because she mentioned, this is not me, this is what she said. She didn't want Asian Bay. Mm-hmm. She wanted a black man. That's what she's always envisioned. And do you feel like African American women in general, like, sabotage relationships?
You really want to ask me?
Yeah. Like, healthy relationships.
Yes.
Because in their mind, they want the black man and the black family.
And I get it. But you don't know what form love is going to come to you in. So, and not even being funny, but she shut down Sterling K. Brown because she said he was too perfect and he was just basically a carbon copy of what she is. So what are you doing?
What does she want?
Right. And I think that's the biggest thing that I think anytime Issa, like, calls her out on herself, she's like, what do you want? I feel like you don't know what form that love is going to come to you in. So, like, why? Why, Molly? Why? I think this upcoming season, Molly's going to have some real wake-up calls.
Yeah, some real revelations.
Yeah.
That's what she needs.
Yeah.
Because I personally hate it when you're going back and forth with somebody and y'all are joking.
Yes, and
Like,
and then they touch that little sensitive subject.
right.
And there are ways, even if someone does that, there are ways for you to still be like, wait. You playing too much.
Yeah.
Like, we can, but not to be like, flipping tables. I mean, she didn't flip the table, but still. She
right.
As well.
But she did the most. She shouldn't have done that.
And you literally were with the dude who has a whole wife, and the girl's pregnant now. Like, you can't be mad about him speaking his truth. Like, the truth.
The truth.
Mm-hmm. So, I don't know. Oh, Molly. And how do you feel about her in her work situations? Now that she's isolated herself.
She does not know what she wants. Oh, Molly.
Yeah, definitely. It's just not.
It's like you complain at your old job, and then you get to the new job that's supposed to be that much better, and now you're comparing it to your old job.
And DocuSign ain't even that good, girl. I don't.
Yeah. I just don't understand her.
Yeah.
I don't understand her at all. Like, what are you looking for? What do you need?
Yeah. Yeah.
And she goes to a therapist, but I don't know if that's helping.
Here's the thing, though. Let me tell you know why? And it showed in a clip when they were talking about drugs. She doesn't tell her.
She doesn't tell her everything. Mm-hmm. She lies by omission.
So it's not going to work when you're not sitting there living out your whole truth. And it's one thing to be able to, like, break it down, like, session by session. But if you actually are talking about, like, real things or, like, a specific area, and there you're having triggering moments or things in your life and you don't bring them up, so therapist can only do what you provide them with. Yeah. So, oof. Okay, so let's talk about the big topics. Issa and did we already touch on
No, we didn't.
Okay. I'm like, wait, did we already do this? Issa, Lawrence, we already did Nathan. Mm-hmm. So Issa and Lawrence as individuals and together. Okay?
Why together?
Because we have to talk about how things ended.
Okay.
Yeah. Okay, so let's do the together part. Okay. I think I don't know where I stand. Like, I want Issa and Lawrence together in theory. But in true practice, no. It just, I don't want this to spill over into the individual stuff, but I just still don't, like even when he was having the conversation with Chad, when he was like, how did you forgive, or no, she forgave him. She forgave him. And, like, Chad was actually the realest moment he had for a very short second. And, like, there's still a lot of things that Lawrence has to work on, obviously. He still has to work on things, but they're just not good for each other right now. But I think that they're doing a lot of growing as individuals to where if we see them cross paths again in another lifetime, I would not be mad about it.
Well, y'all know how I feel.
Yeah. X is an X is an X is an X.
Yes. Now, I will say this, because there are people who, we talk about this. Do you have friends that are exes?
Like, they're my friend. They're my exes.
Y'all are still friends. Yeah.
Nah, like,
there are people
acquaintances, but not like
not friends.
Mm-mm.
But there are people who remain.
Nah, if I saw them like on the side of the road, I would speak. I don't know why they would be on the side of the road.
Yeah, on the side of the road. What kind of men were you dating? This is awkward out there. This is awkward. But there are people who remain friends with their exes. I am not one of them. But that does happen. That does exist. I initially did not want him around at all, but he has grown. I did see some growth in there. He is trying to grow up. And I do appreciate that. And then, of course, Issa is in a whole better place. Like, she's in her own place now. She's not with Daniel anymore. Kicked him to the curb. Pew!
Girl, I forgot about Daniel so much. But, like, it was so long ago. So early in the season.
It was early.
Yeah.
But
he need to work. Ooh. I mean, I don't think he's gonna be back, but he got some work, some masculinity, trust. Not really trust, but was it like?
I think it was insecurity.
Yeah. He just. He's too handsome to be acting. But, so individual. Let's save Issa for last because so Lawrence. My biggest issue. Obviously, like I said, he was definitely working on some things. The biggest issue was when he was talking about the baggage stuff. And I feel like, again, and I guess this whole baggage and just stuff thing kind of goes interchangeable. But if somebody has something that they just still have on them that they're working through, why would you be like, oh, I'm not going to have a relationship with that person because they're still just dealing with this stuff? Like, no, like, I mean, if they're working through it, like, you want someone who doesn't have baggage? You want a 30-something-year-old person who doesn't have baggage? That doesn't exist. Like, where is this person been hibernating for the last 30 years if they don't have something? Even if it's not dealing with other people, dead. I don't know. But it's everybody has something. Mm-hmm. The key to me, the biggest thing is that you're working on it. And I mean like actively working on it. Like in therapy, physically doing whatever it is. So I love his dad's response where he was just like, me and your mom had matching luggage. Like, we just work on it.
And I think it's a beautiful thing to find somebody that's willing to unpack beside you.
Mm-hmm. Hey, that's the word.
Mm-hmm. You know what? We're preaching a lot in this video.
We are.
I'm not going to have to edit this too much because it's all gold.
Yeah. Yeah. Okay. Yeah. But he is growing and he's dating someone or talking to someone, going and hanging out with a lady that is connected to Issa now. Yeah. So
that'll be interesting.
Yeah. We're not done with Lawrence.
And now
Issa. Let me tell you, that last scene of her unpacking her stuff, making her space.
That metaphor.
Oh, beautiful. I was like,
slow clap.
Oh, I was like, yes, girl. Yes, you make your own space. I loved that scene. Like, that was probably my favorite scene from the whole series. Like, that was real. I loved it. Her getting to there was some work. But that's what it should be. That's what life is. I'm excited about her creating this event, this thing. What was it, Coachella that they were talking about? That's what she's thinking about naming it or whatever. Or no, she had another really bad name.
Yeah.
It was some, yeah.
But it wasn't good.
It wasn't. But I'm proud of her for like seeking that out. I thought she was very crazy when she just up and quit. I'm not gonna lie.
I did too.
I was like, girl, you ain't good. You just got this new apartment. And I don't know if she's being compensated to like, because I know the rent's discounted, but it's not free. And you still got lights. And I don't know how Lyft is working these days. So
actually, I think you can do really well with Lyft.
No, but I didn't know how she was doing with Lyft.
Oh,
yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. But yeah, so I was just like, at first I was like, oh girl, I'm so nervous for you. Like,
yeah, I was too.
The one thing that I'm kind of like, about like the fact that she doesn't work for We Got Y'all anymore, I miss Frida.
I do too. Oh, Frida had my hair. Well, this ain't my hair.
Oh, I was like, wait. What?
But Frida was so sweet and
She
cute.
was so adorable. Oh, so awkward. Oh, they were so good together.
Yeah, it was cute.
So hopefully this isn't the end of Frida, but yeah, how do you feel? Okay, let's go. How do you feel about her reaction to Molly with the whole Nathan thing?
I'm trying to put myself in her shoes.
In Issa's shoes?
Yeah.
Okay. I want you to put yourself in either of the shoes, or both shoes. So go with Issa's first.
Okay. I kind of understand where she's coming from.
Issa?
Yeah.
Okay.
In her shoes.
Mm-hmm.
But it's easier for me to relate to Molly. Because think about it. We were just talking about it. Like, your reaction to my ex is different from my reaction.
Yeah.
If he showed up to my door and I wasn't here and you were, would you send him away?
Here's the thing. That particular one, yes. Yes. Because I know you're no good. Like, I literally know you're no good because we've tried this multiple times. There's nothing you could, like, this one person, I don't know why, because he irritated me back then. Oh, ugh.
And I guess that's the saving grace for Molly is that Nathan and Issa weren't a couple.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, it wasn't like an official thing. So he wasn't her ex. He just kind of did her wrong. He just ghosted her. So I would have.
I'm sorry, go ahead.
No,
I got really. I would have said something, but I would not have. What I probably would have done would have had my few words to say to him, and then be like, "Your little friend is here. He finally didn't show." Like, I would have been the one that be like, "He finally had something to say. What you got to say to us?" And then you be like, "Tanisha."
Yes.
And then
Anything
Tanisha
you need to
watch
say
you
to
go.
her, you can say it in front of me.
Like, to me, that's how I would have pictured it. Like, I couldn't, because you've been gone this long. You deserve to have something to be said. Like, you deserve some type of words. So to have my friend still out here just wondering, that's the part where I was just like, nah, Molly, that wasn't the look. Yeah, that wasn't it.
Yeah.
No.
And you don't know. Well, I mean, it's like you said, Nathan is struggling with something.
Oh,
We just
yeah.
don't know what.
Yeah.
So we don't know that he's no good yet.
Yeah.
We just don't know that.
Yeah. It could be a family. It could be a felony. It could just be depression. Not just depression, but it could be depression.
Yeah. You just don't know.
Don't know. She could have offered him her therapist.
She could have.
Instead of sending him off. That's why he came back.
I'm glad he came back.
Yeah. Yeah. So.
That was a good discussion.
Yeah. It wasn't really a debate. We kind of agreed on a lot of
we
stuff.
agreed on a lot of things
Yeah, I
this
don't think
season.
we disagreed about anything.
What did you think about the baby shower? You called it a fiasco, so I kind of know.
Man, let me tell you. Here's the thing. Tiffany is hilarious to me in an irritating way, even though I love Amanda Seals as like a person. But Tiffany, the character, I struggle with her. Like, I appreciate a good bougie black woman like the rest of us. But Tiffany has this entitlement sometimes that just kills me. To me, she gives this like stereotypical like bougie girl that I just a lot of times people think I am, and that's not me at all. Like, nah. But from an event planner standpoint, it was cute. I don't agree with how she handled the planning process. To me, even if she has, kind of goes back to the friend episode, if she has these different groups of friends, you invite them over,
Merge them.
and they figure out how they're going to plan it. Like, there is no way I would have one group of my friends planning something, like leaving people out like that. Even if you know they raggedy, they can still bring cups. Like, we need ice. Right! Everybody, like, that's just, like, I felt horrible for Kelly. Like, oh, yeah. I didn't care for it. I just did not like it. And, here's the thing. Friendship dynamics change. Like, that's inevitable. Like, it's inevitable. But for you to just intentionally to leave people out, like, come on. Like, that's not cool. That's, even though I don't like money being thrown at me, but, like, time and energy and people coming together, I would live for you guys throwing me a party. Everyone.
Are you just putting that out there?
Even though I don't really want anything, like, for these next upcoming birthdays, so
Let's go somewhere else.
40th birthday, maybe you guys can.
That's years away.
It is, but it's not.
It is.
Right.
We're still in the second bracket.
I mean, okay, 35. Even though I don't think I'm do that big. 35.
Oh my gosh. So dramatic. So dramatic.
But yeah, so that was not cool. To me, that wasn't cool. So, because they would have done some, and that's the thing, like, I think that she doesn't realize, like, because she has such this, like, bougie idea of things, or, like, such this, like, grand scheme. Some of my best experiences have been when I just let my friends just plan things for me, because you guys know what I like. And I do believe that there are some specific celebrations that you want specific things to happen, then you just plan them yourself.
Yeah.
And that's just what it is. Like, you don't intentionally exclude people out because you wanted to look or feel a certain way.
And that was your best friend.
Yeah. Insecure was amazing this season. Can't wait for the next.
Yeah, I'm excited. Y'all let us know, like, how you felt about this last season. Before we go, because we didn't do this, we're going to launch, I don't know what to call this. A challenge? I don't know if it's a challenge. Get Tina booed up.
Yes.
By Valentine's Day.
Boot up.
Boot up, boot up. Oh, I thought you were gonna.
I didn't really know.
Boot up, boot up, boot up, boot up. Mm-hmm. Pull me closer.
So we want to really make sure this happens by Valentine's Day.
Yeah.
So we don't really have any, like, rules.
We don't really have any rules. I do want to specify, like, the dates will not be recorded. Mm-hmm. So, and I don't even know how specific I'm going to go into the dates. Yeah, I don't think so.
So basically what we need you guys to do, you see this beautiful woman right here? We need to get her boot up. So, you guys have gotten to know her of the last few episodes. So there's like a brother, a cousin, uncle. I'm saying uncle because, like, depending on, like, how old, your family is.
What is your family dynamic?
Because, like, I don't have young uncles, but I know other people who have young uncles. Like, just depending on, like, I'm young in my family, younger ones. But, you might be one of the older ones in your family, and maybe, your mama, your grandma was having kids at the same time. Anyway.
So many details you didn't need there.
What's the max age, though? We do need to put some parameters. Like
40.
Okay. Yeah. So, no older than 40. I mean, you guys have heard her talk about descriptions. So, you guys have any good recommendations for some guys?
We aren't in Latvia. We are actually in.
Oh yeah, we should actually say we're in Dallas,
Texas.
State DFW area. No further than Denton. No further than which way should we go? Denton? I don't know where any of that is. Denton, Fort Worth. We'll say Rockwall. No, we'll maybe say Roy City. No, we don't need anybody in Roy City. Rockwall. And then it can be like Waxahachie, Midlothian. That's southern sector. So basically, DFW area, not too far. We ain't drive. She ain't driving. Yeah, because y'all probably gonna have to meet really like central. Can't be downtown. She don't know how to park.
I hate downtown. All the one-way streets, the parking situation is terrible.
So you can't park in uptown either. Anyway, we'll figure that out. But yeah, so we just need someone that here's the thing. When I say need and want, we still want to ensure that these are quality people that she's going out with. So let's find some quality guys.
If you know some quality guys.
Yes. Church members, whomever.
Even if they don't go to church.
Yeah.
We had a conversation about this in our
so just like.
But they do need to know the Lord.
Yeah. Yeah. So let's get this girl booed up.
Yes.
For Valentine's. That's all I know.
That's all I know.
Her album isn't horrible though.
She reminds me of Chris Brown.
Like as a human?
No, like just
music.
her vocal tonality.
Ironically, whatchamacallit, the song that they have together, the song whatchamacallit, they have a song called whatchamacallit. I don't like that. So that's like one of the main songs I dislike on there.
And it's Chris Brown?
Mm-hmm.
Oh. I have to listen to it.
You probably won't like it either because it's very like corny. Like it's just I don't like it.
Oh, I need to hear this.
But the song with her and John Legend, it's good.
You don't like John Legend.
That's not true. I dislike current John Legend.
Wasn't he current John Legend when he recorded this?
Because it sounded like old John Legend to me.
Oh, okay.
I love Ordinary People, even though I know a lot of people who dislike.
I loved Ordinary. I would harmonize to that song.
Me too, because that's where I actually finally figured out how to harmonize. I was like, I literally was singing it. Matter of fact, I think I sang it in the car once. It was either you or Chesley, and y'all were like, "Oh my god, you just harmonized!" I did, didn't I? I did. I don't know why he's easy to harmonize.
That first album was
that was everything.
That whole thing was a bop.
Oh my gosh. Let's sing this episode out.
Well, pick a song I know.
Oh. Here's the funny thing. I can only harmonize to the second verse. Even though that's the same music.
I don't understand.
I don't know how my ear works.
I don't either. We're leaving, y'all. We promise. I'm in love with you. This ain't the honeymoon. That's the infatuation thing.
I used to get so mad when I was younger because I could not go that deep. I can't sing that well.
Well, he's a man.
Well, I know that, but even for it to sound decent in octaves, it just wouldn't work. It didn't sound good until it went higher.
Sometimes I still put you first. We'll make this thing work, but I think we should take it slow. We're just ordinary people. We don't know which way to go. 'Cause we're ordinary people.
Sing it, John.
Baby, we should take it slow. Take it slow.
How can people hate this?
I don't know.
I love, yeah.
That slow. It's beautiful.
Do you like current day John Legend?
No.
Oh.
That whole, what was that song that won the Grammy?
Green light? Red light?
No,
Oh.
the slow one. All of you.
Oh.
I'm like, ugh. Oh, I used to. We're gonna play that out. We'll see you guys later.
I know, we just obviously just went.
We went elsewhere.
And you actually glad, because I was actually going to mess with you and start playing Mariah Carey when we left out.
Maybe it's me. Maybe I bore you.
Ah!
No, my fault. 'Cause I can't afford you.
Hey!
Coffee, Jay-Z, will all be better for you. Baby, you love.
Hit it.
Baby, when I used to love you, nothing that I wouldn't do.
Hey!
Walk through the fire for you. Anything you ask me to, but I'm tired of living this life.
Forgot to
To just get by, I realize that I just don't love you.
Wait, not when?
Not like I used to. La.
Woo! Man, music was good back then. I
Yes,
feel
it
old.
was. It so was.
Oh my God.
I don't know what this stuff is
Was
today.
it 2004? 2004 was a good year.
It was. That's when we graduated.
Billy and Bobby.
Actually, that comment.
Yeah, I shouldn't have said that.
This is up.
See y'all later.
Yeah. Bye, y'all. We had fun.
I used to love you.
Used to
Love you. Oh, but I don't love you.
I don't love you. Oh.